Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 5 here of the MRC eRacing. I'm your host, I'm Cassie, and we are coming to you from Spain. We're just waiting for one person ready up. Sorry, and we'll be in the lobby, and hopefully it won't take too much longer. I say this is round 5. Last time out, our race winner was Mark, followed by Brownie, never getting a third place to keep up the pressure at the top. And at the top it is looking really close. There's 6 points between Brownie in first and Mark in second place. Good battle going on behind as well. Casson not quite getting the result he wanted last time out. He got an 8th. As such, he's only 2 points ahead of Neved down there in third. Although Casson has actually picked up 3 fastest laps. He's only been in 3 races, so that is a good start from him. Coming up in 5th is Pavel, very closely followed by Raggy. 1 point between them. Beefs is in 7th place with 122 points. A few others with a collection of points further behind. And we have now finally got into qualifying. And hopefully we can give you a wonderful show here today. Track is looking lovely and dry. Lovely sun out here, Catalonia. It's not everyone's favourite circuit. It's very, I don't want to say overused. But it kind of is when you think about it. And that's not a good start, so you can really leave the session. Bear with me a second, I'm just going to see if that's for a reason. We can change over to that, there we go. No, we're not restarting, I was just wondering if there was a restart happening, and we have some action down at the end of the pits. Let's just see who's that going to be. Is it a Beefs? No, it's not. Someone? There we go, Techslave. Techslave and Mark are on their way out. Techslave in the Alpha, and Mark there in the Renault. And so his first few outlaps of the day, little collection of tyres going on. We've got the soft, medium and hards as always. Mark out on the hards, Techslave out on the mediums. Tyre strategy is always going to be interesting. Quite often you'll see the strategies of mediums to hards. People might try a soft to hard. All depends on how they're going to drive at the day. Based on the fact we're seeing some mediums and hards running today, I think it might be a medium hard running, with the potential of people trying for a little bit of an, I don't want to call it a crazy tactic because it does work, but quite often you see people going for softs to hards or hards to softs, and that's a post Techslave. So Techslave will get us going on the first flying lap then of the day, and as he comes up to the final few corners we will go for the full on board. And hopefully he'll show us exactly how to do a perfect flying lap then. As he gets us going then around this final corner, the long right-hander into the home straight with the DRS opening almost immediately as soon as you straighten up. Head down the straight. It's one of the longest straights on the track, on the calendar. Downhill towards the braking zone, picking it perfectly, then shifting through turn 1 and 2, using all the available curb. And then this long turn 3, so tricky to get this right. You can see Techslave is just fighting to keep that car in the right point, and he's actually backed out of that. We'll quickly jump up to Mark, who's just behind him actually. He'll follow us around for the rest of the flying lap, assuming he doesn't do it. He gets close to doing it. Into then turn 4, the tight, but then opens up corner. Just came to the end of sector 1 before he got into that corner. And then downhill, down into turn 5, and we go downhill even further as we come towards turn 6. But then it starts to climb up, and this 7 and 8th fast chicane, so technical and so easy to just make a big mistake on. Like that, is he going to keep it at the wall? He has, sort of. A little bit of front wing damage, but crucially, no wheels off that vehicle. But that's made a mess of his lap. Let's go for Friedrich, just a bit behind as he goes through turn 5. Let's see if he can handle turn 6 and 7. Turn 3's claimed 1 victim, will 6 and 7 claim a 2nd victim here today. Friedrich is teetering through. He's holding that back end. It wanted to go. He is in mode 0 at the moment. I think he might have backed out of this lap. If he doesn't shift up here, he has. And yeah, he has. But we'll stay with him. He's going quite quickly still. Down towards turn 10. And this turn 11 is so tricky. This here, because it's just this bump on the left can just really destabilise the car as you trying to basically check it into turn 12. So you go up and then down towards turn 13, and the track just falls away. You go through the chicanes 14 and 15. Don't get too much on the curbs on the first part, and then power through turn 15. Don't run too wide. You just held it on the edge And he will come across the line, puts in a time of 1:23.18. Is on those hards, but I suspect we'll see that time beaten, as that was a lot of running in the softs. Have a look in Mode Zero. Hob on the edge of the limits there. He's just started his flying up. Come back to him. Where's Raggy? He's just a bit ahead of him. So we'll come back to him. Paf is fighting that car as he came around the final corner. I think this might be a reinstallation up if he didn't invalidate. He did invalidate, so he'll be going again. Where's Beefs? Beefs is coming out through turn 11. He's got a car ahead of him. That's Tech Slave, so hopefully Tech Slave will not be giving him too much air or dirty air. Beefs is just looking a bit unstable through these corners. I think he might have backed out actually. As Tech Slave will come across the line and see what can he do. Invalid his first time out. Gets a 21.587 then. Current pole sitter. And we'll have a look quickly at Ragstays. He comes through the final chicane. Let's see if he can nail this final corner perfectly. There's so many tricky corners in this track. This isn't massively tricky, but it's so easy to make a mistake. A little late on the DRS there. That's going to cost him a tenth or so. Comes across the line, puts in a time. Hob actually just behind him invalidated. But Reggie sits at 21.242. Current pole sitter. Let's have a look further back again. Marinello, he's just started. And Brownie just comes to the end of the back straight. Through turn 10. And he'll be looking to get himself up in a good starting place. He's really struggled at times with this new game, but I just wonder if it's just he had old setups on and he hadn't quite tweaked them fully. He's just slowly starting to evolve his gameplay for this new game. Paf with a 1:20.997, fastest so far. Can Brownie say anything about it? He is on the hards, so it's going to be like for like tyres. He does have a say about it. He does a 19.922, a second faster than Paf for provisional pole, with 11 and 45 seconds left on the clock. And Marinello had just started, so we'll have a look at him quickly. He's actually weaving, so he's not going to be setting a lap. His Hob going to be setting a lap. He's in mode 0, and I don't think he'll be going to try and set a lap. And I think it's a case of people are starting to either do 2 runs on their hard tyres or on their way in. Let's have a look at McBrojic. He is running mode 5 with a heavy back end. Just getting a little too keen on that accelerator. And his back end stepping out on him. Is he going to complete this lap, or is he just going to fling it in the pits? He is going to complete it. Oh, a little bit of lag there as he came around the final. That could cost him a lot, and it looks like it has. He lost out by half a second. So no improvement there from him. Raggy's going to start another flying lap, so we'll come back to him. Brownie is not going again. Tech Slave is done another lap. He had an improvement. He's up to P2 with a 20.661. And yeah, so let's have a look further back. Marinello maybe should be coming towards. He's actually validated his first lap, so he's on another one. As he's just going through turn 4. Mark just a bit ahead of him going through turn 5. And O-Speed just a bit ahead of that going through 6 and 7. So we'll stick with O-Speed as he goes up the hill. He gets that one perfectly, unlike what we saw earlier. That's the other tricky corner, turn 9. Just used too much of the exit curve there, and you can just see that back end coming round. As I said earlier, the corners aren't tricky, but it's made tricky by the fact if you just go a bit too over the top on the corners, you just lose it completely. Notably, obviously, turn 3, you can just run too far wide and make a mess of that. Turn 7 and 8, as we saw earlier, and turn 9 and 11, there's so many corners, and the final corner, there's so many corners here that if you just put 1 foot wrong, your back end comes round and slaps you in the face. Mark goes fastest then with a 19.578 on his hards, and Beefs is going on his softs, and that's that corner, turn 9. He just took too much of the inside curve on the curve, lost the back end, and he will be absolutely devastated. I wonder if he's going to come back into the pits after this or go again. Potentially with 9 minutes left, he might come back into the pits. We'll have a look later. Leclerc is coming up to turn 9 himself. He doesn't have a little off there, so that's good from him on these hard tyres. He hasn't done any laps yet, so he's currently at stands P9. So he'll be looking to improve, because he can't really go down at this point. Let's come up to the final few corners then. For Leclerc, just the chicane and the final corner to go. He nails that perfectly. Now you use everything you can. And that final corner could have had a little bit more speed through it. He's run out of ERS, that's why. And he gets a 20.612, just a bit ahead of then of Tech Slave. And P3 is his position at the moment. So let's have a look. Beef's pitted after he made a mess of his lap, so he won't be setting a time just yet. 8.5 minutes, not long to go. Marilyn maybe coming around the final corner. Is he going to improve? A lot of drivers going for long runs on their hard tyres, and he comes across with a very good time then of 19.613. P2 for him at the moment with 8 minutes left. That's a good result from him. And lays down an important marker for everyone else. Let's have a look. Leclerc is on his way in, so the only few drivers then currently out on track as we're getting a couple coming out on outlaps. O-Speed looks to be on a fly as he comes towards turn 6, Little Kink, and then up the hill for 7 and 8. And that's how you do those corners. Is he going to get turn 9 just as well? A little wide the exit, but not too wide. A little bit further, he could have lost that. Hobbs coming out to the same point, so let's just watch Hobb on the mediums go through these tricky corners. Don't want to make a mistake at this stage. Very aggressive on the inside right there. Just fighting that car to keep it going. Keep as much speed as he can through these corners. And so let's go back on board with those speeds as he comes up to the final corner. Needs to find a 19 something really at this point. And it is going to be a 20.63, so P5, not too shabby, but could have been a lot better from him. And that could have been a lot better from Hobb. Where are we here? This looks like exit of turn 12 to me. It is the exit of turn 12 because that is then turn 13. So Hobbs made a big mistake there, and I think there might be some serious front wing damage. It is. Obviously got a bit too heavy on the exit curbs and just lost the rear end. And you have to be careful of those walls on the way in. So Hobb is coming to the pits. Freudich has just started his lap on the soft tyres, and he will be looking for one position and one position only, and that's going to be P1 after this lap. Mark obviously currently got mediums on, he did his best on the hards, so we should see probably around an 18.5, maybe an 18.3 from Mick Freudich if he wants to sit at the front of this grid. So I believe Rowe is unable to join qualifying. He left probably before he was able to, so he'll be starting at the highest at the moment of P10, assuming no one else beats him. I believe Double G is also coming back in after his disconnection, so he'll be at the very back, and Rowe will be the one ahead of him. Freudich coming out to the final few corners now. Can he get this into the 118s? He hasn't got much of a choice. He needs the 118, a low 118 if he wants to have a realistic shot at getting pole, because he's not got a lot of time left. It's going to be a low 119.3, and that could be... I don't think it's going to be good enough for pole. Depends what Mark's going to put on. He has come out on the mediums, so I suspect he's going to beat that time. We'll go back on board with him later. Let's have a look at Beef's a bit further down on those softs. Running out of ERS seems a common theme today, and that's the timing Friedrich needed. Pretty much a 118 dead from him, and so Beef's currently your pole sister. Raggy is out on his softs as well, and he's just overdriven, and that could be invalidated right there. He's still going, so maybe not. He's running that car right to the very edge of the roads there, somehow not getting a validated lap. And that was right on the very, very limit. Still on the green stuff, but it was at the other side of the white line. So stay with him now as he's going up through 7 and 8, sorry, towards this tricky turn 9. Oh, that's a wonderful camera if someone's chasing him, but no one's chasing him. So let's go back on board with him. Coming now through, he's 1.1 seconds up on his previous best. That's going to put him at a 20.1, which is well off the pace of what he needs. Let's say soft tyres need to be in the 118s, the low 118s, if you want a realistic chance of using them in the race, because it's going to give you the best position to start, which will hopefully be for these guys' sake at the front. Coming around the final corner now for Raggy. on those softs, it's going to be a 119.4. It's only good enough for P3, and again, I think the medium runners, particularly those from Brownie upwards, will beat him. Leclerc, I don't think he's going to have the pace to beat him. Mark is on his mediums. He's put it P2 with 3.5 minutes left. I expected a little more out of him, but I think that's going to be actually that's pretty decent. It was a low 19 before, so he shaved off what he's shaved off. And TechSlave has DNF'd, and that looks like a Sector 2 incident. Let's see if we're going to get anyone in that area. Neved is on his way around. He's in Sector 2 now. Was that a turn 9 catastrophe? Oh, he's not going to get to turn 9. He's lost it himself. These curves are proving difficult. And he's going to be getting back to the go again. He's not going to have a chance to come into the pits, I don't think. He's got to be careful. He's got dirt on his tyres. Just doesn't want to lose it now. So, Neved spinning it. Hobb hasn't spun it yet. He did spin it last lap, or last flying lap, so he'll be under the pressure to get this together. Let's stay on board with him. He's coming up to where he lost it last time, which is turn 12. He's a little bit tentative through that corner. He knows what happens last time, and he's not going to make that same mistake. Come up to the final couple of corners now for Hobb. Aggressive on that final, on the inside of that corner. Power down towards the line now. What's he going to get? Looks good. It's a 19 dead. It's good enough for P3, but he's on the softs, so it's not as good as it should have been. It should have been a whole second lower, realistically, to match the time that Beef set earlier. Let's have a look at Brownie. He's just started his lap, so we'll actually come back to him. Neved actually put in a lap. In the end, he's going to go again. He has got a time on the board, though. That's kind of the crucial part. Especially with Rowe not being able to put a time in, so he's already gained that one place off him. And he's going to go, and Brownie is going through turn 4. Path is on his way in. Marino Baby is not on his way in, by the looks of things. He looks like he's going to go for the line here. 1 minute 15 on the clock. Coming towards crunch time now. People in the pits are going to be out of qualifying. There's not enough time for them to come out. Marinabi on the mediums, putting it P2. 18.6. So it's looking like Mark, Leclerc and Raggy are all out of qualifying then, and Marino maybe is definitely out of qualifying. That's one way of doing it, I guess. Where's Brownie gone? He's down there, P9. Coming up to the final few corners, 45 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have time to finish this, not an issue. See if he's got time to complete. Another one, he will. And an 18 dead for him. P2, he goes on the mediums. Let's have a quick look at the fitted. So Beef's out front on the softs. Brownie doing a decent time then, getting his mediums onto P2. And Freudrich down there in 6th on his mediums. He's just started with 10 seconds, or just under. Oh, well, sorry. Now 10 seconds left on the clock. Raggy has come out. He's not going to have time to complete this lap, so that'll be the end of his qualifying. He's just nowhere near. That's the end of his. So 4 people finished, 3 DNF'd or retired from session. Beef's currently down there in 10th. He'll Overspeed, sorry, down there in 10th. He'll be looking to get himself up there. He's on the mediums. So Beefs is out there as well. Brownie is done. Beefs is a long way to go. He's just gone through turn 4 with Mikrovic. He's coming through turn 9, coming up to a slow Williams of Brownie. So Mikrovic is on his way. Where it is Overspeed hopping through those corners. Final corner there for Overspeed. He's got to get improvement from P10. Where's he going to put this? He's put it P6. Sorry, I've run out of voice. He's put it P6. So could be a little bit from him. Mikrovic is done. He's limping home. And unless Never can put up something special, it's looking like Beast will be our pole sitter. And based on how Never is driving, that's the end of his. And Beast is in Mo 0 as well, so that's pretty much qualifying over with. Slightly anticlimactic if you ask me, but, well, that's what's done. So Beast will take the front row of the grid alongside Brown and Marino in third, with Mark in fourth. Lucky guess still. Hob fifth, with Overspeed sixth on the third row. On the fourth row you got McFriedrich and Leclerc. Fifth row you got Raggy and Paff. And just missing out in your top 10 you got Texlave, Neville in 12th. Row unable to get out of qualifying, so he'll be 13th. Double G will come and join us for 14th. And there we go. So Beefs will be starting in front. He's on the soft tyres. Interesting tactic he's going for. Strategy, sorry. We'll see if that works out for him. Also on the softs you've got Hob, Freudich and Raggy. Raggy down there in 9th. Not the ideal strategy from him, but what's done is done. Everyone else will be on the mediums. Those who didn't qualify will get a free choice. And those who missed out on top 10 will also get free choice. So just now wait, and there we go. So we're moving on to the race. 50% race as always. And it's looking a little overcast, but crucially at the moment it is dry. Whether or not this is going to turn into rain, we'll soon see. And we'll get this session underway. Just waiting for everyone to make those final amendments to their setup. Those who missed out on the top 10 can set their tyres. See what strategies people are going to go for. And see if they're going to work out for them in the race. And obviously we'll have formation up first, but we're still waiting for everyone to get themselves onto the grid. Sorry, just had to do that. And there we go, so formation up is underway. Double G did join us, he'll be starting, showing in the pit lane, so it looks like he's not actually going to be in the race, unfortunately. So Rowe is currently our back mark. He's had a little lag there already. For some reason I think Rowe might be disconnected from the session any second. Was he sorted? He was having a little bit of lag there off the grid. Hopefully that was just a little bit of connection issues and he'll be good to go. Assuming he doesn't pile into the back of someone like Nevid. So let's have a quick look at those tyres for the people missing out. Everyone's on the mediums who missed out in the top 10. No one's fancying a hard shot. So it's kind of interesting that they're not going for that. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. We are not going to see it today, that's for sure. So Beefs is our pole sitter. He's going to be this man at the front. He's got to get these tyres set perfectly for him. Doesn't want to overheat them too much, but you will be sat on the grid for a little while everyone else comes up behind him. And he'll be leading us away once the lights go. So Haas taking the pole and his teammate down there in 8th. See if Leclerc can produce any magic from down there. And Paff, I think Paff actually got held up in qualifying by the sounds of things. So he's going to be struggling, but we'll see what he can do. Reggie will definitely be struggling. He's gone for a very unusual strategy for someone starting down so low. Starting on the softs in 9th. Along with Freudich and Hobb, they're really out of place on those tyres. But here we go. It's race time. And with 5 red lights, they're off, and we're off then for the Spanish Grand Prix. Slow moving off the line for Leclerc, but because he's got swamped by a few drivers, and he's dropping down. He's already down to 13th, and diving all over the place. I thought there was a contact there from the Toro Rosso on the back of the Mercedes, but it's all clean then through the first corner. And Overspeed looking to make moves already on Marino, baby. Few position switches going on. I just did see someone running wide. Could have been that Ferrari of Rowe. Friedrich is dropping back as well, down to 11th already. And Reggie has had an absolute blinder of start. He is on the softs, don't forget, so it's not surprising. Speed just locking up a little bit. We have a yellow in sector 2. That is going to be Friedrich Reggie making moves on his teammate already. I think there might have been a let through. And he's up to P5. Let's have a good look at Friedrich. That definitely does not look good. Missing the front left end plate of that racing point. And already 10 seconds off the pace, so he'll be bringing that back towards the pits. As Leclerc looking to make moves. There looks to be Hobbs sliding through the corner. I thought he was going to lose it, go on board as we move up. Hobbs has just lost the place there from Neved. Neved sliding through, taking advantage of the McLaren running a little bit wide. And Hobbs is just not going as cleanly as you'd like. And Rose sliding through on Tech Slave. And has he made that stick? We'll find out as we come around the final corner. He hasn't for now. Let's go on board with Rowe. And we'll have a quick look at the position changes while we're doing this. Hobbs pulling out the slipstream. He's actually just almost let Tech Slave through. He might lose 2 for the price of 1 here. And Rowe. Oh, it's contact! He's held it. Just. Rowe gets through. I was holding my breath. I was wondering who was going to come off worse there. But Hobb has lost out to Rowe, but holds off Tech Slave for now. Tech Slave is all over the back of him. These soft tyres are not working that well for Hobb. He's down 5 places so far. Up 4 places. You've got Raggy up there in 5th. Neved and Rowe also up 4. Friedrich, obviously the big loser, having a front wing damage. He's down there in 13th place. He's dropped 6 places and he can't drop any more, fortunately. But he will be coming from the back. He's come out on fresh mediums on that car. He was on softs, so maybe it's a small blessing in disguise for him. So we'll see what we can do from there. And so Tech Slave's trying to catch up to the back end of Hobb, not having any of it just yet. Let's have a look further up, whereas Paff is on the back end of Overspeed. Brownie's gone fastest. These gaps are now going to start working themselves out as DRS has been enabled. Detection points for the DRS just before turn 9 and just before turn 16 for the DRS. You'll see a white line going across the middle of the track. That is the detection point. And so we'll get it on the back straight when we get round to it. Path is 0.2, 0.3 now off the back of Overspeed. And there's still a lot of action on the track. It's not. Oh, yellow in 63. Is that McFriedrich off again? It is, and I think we might see our first retirement of the day. McFriedrich is not happy. He's going to be well off the pace now. And let's have a quick look at Brownie. He's holding on to the back end of Beast. Beast on the softs. Brownie, as we've seen a lot, has underfueled his car. That's not the way to do that corner. Path on the back of Overspeed now. If Overspeed can get a better drive off, he might hold it. But Path's got a decent drive off himself. Is he looking to go around the outside? He's switched back at him. Comes down the inside. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel action. He's got the inside of 10-11 and Overspeed's just turned in on him. And took the racing line. Just ignored the fact Path was there. And that could have been dangerous for both those drivers. Path's going to be absolutely infuriated. He needs to get past Overspeed now. Just for a bit of karma. Path just forced off the track there. And we'll get DRS. Overspeed doesn't get any after he's lost out to his teammate. And Path looking to make an easy overtake and does. Further behind, you got Neved and Rowe battling. Rowe's going to send one down the inside. A little bit of lagging going on. Made that dive look even more impressive than it actually was, I think. And he's through. Overspeed is off track. He's going to lose 1 place. Is he going to lose another? It's going to be close between him and Neved. Neved is going to come through then on Overspeed. And that one mistake has just lost Overspeed 3 places. And he's fallen back then to P9. And that is not how he would want to do that. Beast picks up a 3-second penalty. Up there in the lead. That's not good news from him. As we'll stay on board with Overspeed. He's on the rear of Neved. And is he going to be driving a little bit too hard to correct those mistakes? Is this what's going to cost him even more? And he's done right on that corner. It's just so easy to just, once you've made a mistake, you just start going a bit silly. Overspeed hasn't gone a bit silly. Raggy is starting to be reeled in by Path actually. He's got right up to the back of him. We could see a battle going on here for P5. As Raggy, I think, must have had a little bit of wobble. He's 5 seconds off the back of Marano, baby. He is on the softs. He does have red room to bug, so we won't be watching him too much. But we can watch Paf behind. Raggy gets a great drive off the corner with that extra grip on those tyres. And Beefs has lost out then to a race leader, and Brownie is now your new race leader, and he'll start trying to pull away out front. Hob and Texley swap down the back straight, or home straight, sorry. And Texley up then to P10, and Leclerc taking advantage of Hob and just slides through. I wonder if Hob has some damage that we can't see on that front wing. He's on the soft tyres, he should not be losing out this much. And he's been losing out all race so far, and I think it might be a case of these softs are just starting to go. And Hobbs, I think, might be coming in at the end of this lap. He's just a bit of wobble here, there and everywhere. Mark is closing up on Beefs then for P2. Beefs on those softs as well. And Paf and Raggy going at it as well. I think it might be a pit window coming up for these softs. They are really starting to struggle against these mediums. Raggy defends the inside line. Paf can't do anything about it. Tries for the switchback, loses the back end. That's going to be great news for Raggy. Rowe slides through, and there's a little bit of contact there, and that is Paf off into the wall. He's still going, still with the full front wing, unless he misses this part up. And he's actually escaped that without any damage. So he'll be dropping back. Good news for Raggy then. A little less pressure on him. And speaking of pressure, Mark is applying it to the rear end of Beefs. Beefs had DRS himself there to hold on to the back of Brownie. Hob is in the pits then on his soft tyres. He thinks those have been spent. Overspeed trying to come back here at Texlave. Sends one down the inside late on the braking. Overspeed goes so deep in the corner and gets back onto the racing line. And Texlave can't do anything about it. Leclerc wants a piece of this action as well. Texlave is all over the back then of Overspeed. He's going to send one down the inside of turn 4. He's not going to. He thought about it. He's just trying to hold on to the back then of this Mercedes. Sends down the inside of turn 5. Just found the gap. He's got a good drive off the corner, but this is a tricky place to hold and overtake. As to go up there, he's just spun it, and that's damage as well for Leclerc. He's just collected the rear end of Texlave's car. And that's going to be bad news for him. Where's Texlave? Texlave is on his way now. He has lost out then to Neved, to Paf, sorry, not Neved. And let's go on board quickly with Rowe, who is battling here. Beefs is in the pits on those softs. So Mark will take third. Marino up to third. Mark up to second. Raggy staying out for a little bit longer. Twitchy off that final corner. Just wondering, is Rowe going to be close enough to make a move? Did he get the drive that he wanted off that corner? It's going to look good. It's going to look close. Where is Neved? Nowhere near. Rowe's going to try around the outside of turn 1. Raggy holds the inside line. Neved, Rowe will have the inside of turn 2. Little wheel banging going on there. And it's so close between these two. Raggy holding the inside of turn 3. But Rowe just has so much more power and grip. Able to go around the outside. And he is going to go up to P4. Raggy wants to come back at him, but just can't. Now, I think we might see Raggy coming into the pits. The only man of the softs not to pit so far, which was kind of enforced. But now Neved is going to be on the back of Rowe. Raggy will get DRS Rowe to defend against Neved for a little bit. But Neved just gets a terrible drive off that corner. That's going to be good news for Raggy. He's able to just pull away a little bit. As we're coming up towards turn 11 now for these guys through this long right-hander, turn 12. Is Raggy feeling pit stop time? That's the question. The green light is on. That it means he is in the pit window. It means he could be coming in any time. He's staying out for now, as he does still have DRS on Rowe, which is good news because he can just hold on to the back of him. Neved is nowhere near to making an overtake, so it's just going to be Raggy closing up. He won't be going for a move here unless Rowe does something daft. It doesn't. So Raggy holding on to the back end of this Ferrari. The Ferrari started P13. And Raggy's now starting to drift back a little bit. really needs to stay on the back of the road through these corners if he wants DRS. As I said earlier, the detection point is just before turn 9. So you'll want to still be within that 1 second window as we get to that corner. He is at this stage 0.68, so it's looking good. The section point is there, and so he's going to get it once again. Actually, we don't expect him to try and make any moves, as Rowe will just have so much more grip than him at this stage of the race. And now Neved is all over the back of Raggy. This Neved might fancy a little cheeky dive somewhere. Raggy's going to be paying attention to this just in case. As Bradley goes fastest on 8-lap-old medium tyres with 21.990. Raggy is staying out for another lap. He's really taking his tyres to the end of their life. As long as he doesn't get a puncture, it's all well and good. He will. Well, I suspect he was going to lose space against Neved, but Neved just doesn't close up as much as he could have done. Now he's pulled out, central down the inside, and Raggy doesn't really fight it, just lets him go. So now Raggy back down to 6th place. Leclerc has pitted onto hard tyres, so we're seeing if those can go to the end of the race. Still looking a little overcast. I don't suspect we're going to get any rain from this, but you just never know. I mean, it's not looking like rain clouds just yet. If it does change, then it's going to be a while, so I don't think Raggy's going to be holding off till the rain comes. It would be a bit of a strange thing to do, especially with Leclerc going to the hard tyres. The rain was on its way and we've gone to the soft or mediums, but we'll see. Raggy is just on the edge of the DRS zone, so I think this could be it for these soft tyres. He's now outside DRS as Bradley goes faster once again. He's starting to pull out a lead on Maranello. He's up to 3.4 seconds out front. And Raggy is finally coming to the pits as Beast picks up a 3-second penalty down there at 8th. That's his second penalty. 6 seconds in total for him. And Raggy comes down the pit lane. Let's have a quick look at Path and Beast. Beast just got a terrible drive off the corner. Don't think it's going well for him today. He did start at the front, but his day's gone from bad to worse, and he's just losing places there to Path. Does he fancy a little dive back? He thought about it. He was in the right place to do it, but Path takes P7 off him, and Raggy will be coming out in P10 on fresh mediums. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make those last into the end, unless he's going to two-stop it. So I suspect he will be two-stopping now. But we will see. We're only on lap 10:33, so a fair distance to go. We're not even a third of the way through this race just yet. And Beast is still trying to find a way. Well, now trying to find a way back past Path. Path very aggressive on the corner. Beast very aggressive on the accelerator. Had a bit of a wobble there on turn 9, but caught it well. And now he's trying to get his way up back past Path. Beast was the pole sitter. He started on soft. It's not worked out well for him. He's currently down in 8th place. And if we just look at the gap to leader for you quickly, he's 27 seconds off the pace of Brownie, and Brownie's doing fast enough pace at the moment. And Beast will take an easy overtake here on Path. Path can't really fight it. Beast just, look at that, he's miles ahead already. So strong DRS we have in 2019 compared to 2018. The gap has been widened in the rear wing, so it's a little bit stronger, along with other reasons obviously. So Path will have his turn to come back at Beast if he can stay on the rear of the Haasman. As Leclerc, 3-second penalty. So the Haas are the only people to have picked up penalties so far. And Beast with 9, and Leclerc with 3. We've got a yellow in sector 2. That is here. Who's that? That's Overspeed in the wall. Big accident there from Overspeed. He's still going, but his wing has gone as Texo slides past him, and Raggy will be trying not to do the same as Overspeed. And so bad news there for the Mercedes of O-Speed. He's going to be bringing this one back to the pits. As long as he doesn't hold it off his teammate in the process. Paf on the edge of DRS. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Beefs has pulled outside, and that is why he's just done the fast lap. 21.744. O-Speed has been passed by his teammate. Is O-Speed coming to the pits? I think he's got to, really. Not a lot of wing left on that Mercedes. And yeah, so still tyres goes for. I suspect from this point he's going to go for hards. Try and make it to the end. It's not the end of the world, in all honesty. It just means he's going to have a rather long pit stop to compete with. Let's have a look further up at Brad. Let's just see how he's getting on. He's still got his yellow fuel warning, which I don't think he's too worried about. Well, you've got a 4-second lead. You've got a little bit of leniency on your hands. You can probably stick it in lean and just wait. As he's coming towards the pit stop windows, he's going to be wondering where he's going to slide back into the pack. If we look back at the gap to leader, pit stops are generally around sort of 18 to 20 odd seconds, so if you can pull further ahead of Neved, or Neved catches him up a little bit, then that'll be where he's going to slot back into. The last thing he'll want to do coming out of pit is to be right battling with someone either just in front or just behind. Just in front shouldn't be too much of an issue because he'll just be able to start pulling away. So you wouldn't want to be just behind anyone, particularly if he's going for a race win. Currently the only other battle really is Paf and Beast. 1.1 is the gap there, and surprisingly, in all honesty, at lap 13 and 33 we still have all 13 starters still going. Double G was unable to make the start, and somehow he's still been classified. He's currently 11 laps down though, so yeah. I don't think he's going to be really getting anything from this. Okay, so Paf 1.3, 1.4 now for back of Beefs. Beefs is stepping it up a little bit, trying to pull away. Brownie, our race leader, is in, so let's have a look at him. Let's stay with him. Mark is also in just behind him. Brownie's got to trundle the whole way down to the end of the grid, the end of the pits. I wonder where he's going to come out. Hard tyres then for Brownie. As Rowe goes flying on past, where is Neved? Neved is going to come past as well. Yes, he is. And only just ahead though, but that's not the best for Brownie. He's come out right behind Neved. And he's going to be hoping that Neved comes into the pits this lap and clears the way for him. Similar with Mark, he's come out right behind Beefs. Yellow in sector 2/3. Who's had an off? That looks like Leclerc's had an off. No damage though, so he's still going. And Friedrich is still going as well. He's getting lapped, but at least he's getting out of the way of people. Mark right on the rear of Beefs. That's the last thing he wants to do if he's going to try and catch up to Brownie, is to come out right behind another car. Similar with Brownie, he's not as close as Beefs, as Mark and Beefs are, but still you don't really want to be right up the tail of someone else. Mark has DRS, but he's just not using it. I don't know if he knows he's got it or he's got a fault. They can have faults, and it's not ideal when it happens. And if he has a fault with it, it's really going to hinder his race. Current race leader Marino is in. This is yet another yellow in sector 2. I'm not sure who that was. It's gone red. It could have been Tech Slave. I don't think so. But good news for Brownie is he's back into the lead. Everyone else in front of him has pitted. Bad news for Mark though. Oh, the 3-ish 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. He's not going to be too happy. Mark and Beast just pulled away like a rocket there. He's still got a bit of pace left in these medium tyres. Obviously he stops a little bit earlier than everyone else after guessing he starts on the softs. But Brownie is currently our race leader. We expect, well, Beast will be stopping again at some point. These softs going around 14 laps. That would be news to Raggy, who will be trying to do probably another 10 or so on these. Maybe a little bit more if you can push them really. And so you can get so probably about 6 or 7 laps if you put some softs on. 6 or 7 laps left, sorry, put some softs on at the end. That'll be what we'd be aiming for at this point in time. If he's not going to be able to reach that distance, then he's going to have to go for the mediums, and he's got to make that decision quite early on really. Keep an eye on your wear. Mark is still within DRS of Beefs. It's looking a little bit grey, or is it just my eyes making it look a little bit grey? But Bradley goes fast on the hard tyres. 21.687 for him, as he's currently got a 2.7 second lead over Manor. Maybe he lost a couple of seconds really on his outlap, but Mark is just not able to stay with Beefs. Beefs does have mediums, but they're getting a little bit old. He'll probably only have another 6 or 7 laps left on those tyres. Depends how he's driven really. He was battling earlier on with them, so we'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on this little battle for third. So Beast will be coming in again at some point. Hopefully for his sake he's going to make it long enough so he can go on to softs. So we'll do a soft, medium, soft tactic. If not, we'll be going back onto the mediums. But look, Mark has DRS again and is still not using it. Is he just trying to stay off the back end of Beefs for some reason? Is it just his car's a little bit warm? Don't know. Interesting calls going on from him. If he does have a DRS fault, that's not ideal. Because Beefs is just nailing this final corner. And let's see, Mark. No, he's not using DRS again. I think he must have a fault then. Which is not good news for him. He's just unable to catch up onto the rear Beefs. Rowe goes faster than Brownie. So Rowe, Beefs steps out a little bit. Mark's going to have a little sniff. But Beefs is able to recover it and get back up to speed. Half a second between these guys now. We're on lap 17 of 33. Still a fair distance to go. This is yellow in sector 1. And that looks like Neved. Beefs is still sliding. Neved has had enough then at turn 1 and 2. He lost out to Raggy. And Paf is relatively close, but I think Neved will be able to hold him off for a little bit. Let's have a look at this battle for P3. Beefs and Mark. Has he got it fixed? He has got it fixed. He's finally going. Rowe picks up a 3-second penalty behind them in 5th place. But Mark has finally got DRS working. He can now start attacking the rear of this Haas. This rear that's been sliding a little bit in the last few laps. I'd be surprised if those tyres are gone just yet. I mean, they're going to be fine. Going a little bit, but not gone as Brownie goes fastest. So Mark definitely now has DRS. He's starting to pick it up, but just Beefs nails that final corner in comparison to Mark and just pulls away and holds on to P3 for now. Let's have a quick look further back then. Paf and Never were close for a moment. Paf doesn't get DRS off the final corner. He was close, but it's just dropped back off the rear of the Alpha. And Never looking to make amends for his spin earlier. He's got that corner correct this time around. Didn't last lap. That's what cost him a position to Raggy, who's now currently up in 6th place. And Raggy will be stopping again at some point, unless he's feeling ridiculously brave or ridiculously stupid, depends how you want to look at it, and try and take those mediums to the end. I think that might be a little bit too much to ask, but you never know. We'll see as we go. Let's go back up to Mark and Beefs. Half a second between them. As Mark is starting to close up on Beefs. Beefs tyres are going to start to be starting to hurt a little bit now. 11 laps in, and they are first to the point that he's going to pit. And I suspect that's going to be another set of mediums. It's going to be a bit odd decision to go for hards at this point. Although Yeah, I mean, you've only got 14 laps to go. So Beefs is in. He's gone for the hards. Interesting call. Now where is he going to come out? He's coming down the pit lane. Whereas Raggy's coming along now, and he's really over revving that car. Oh, he has rev limiter bug. That's why. But he comes out right on the rear of Beefs. We want to stay with his battle, so we're going to have to go for the wide shot, unfortunately, because we can't stay on board with Raggy. His rev limiter bug is annoying, and too annoying to sit on board with. But so Raggy 0.8 behind Beefs. Beefs on very cold hard tyres. Raggy on rather worn mediums. So he's just not going to close up really. Might get DRS here if he can get this corner right. Can't see a little bit and doesn't get. He's not going to get it. So let's go on board with Neved just behind him actually. So he'll start to be closing up onto the rear Raggy after his spin earlier. So 1.2 is the gap between Neved and Raggy. Neved is closing up onto the back end of him. And not going to get DRS here unless Raggy made a big mistake. It didn't look so like he did. So he's going to hold that P6 for this lap. And he's going to come under a lot of pressure next time around. We've got 13 to go. And Yellow once again in sector 3, who has had a little off. It's already cleared. Could it have been Leclerc? I think it might have been. His front wing looks okay for now. Paf is looking good as well. He's just on the edge of the DRS from Neved. Neved is 0.4 off the range of Raggy, but closing in every corner. Neved can just get a little bit more drive off it compared to Raggy. Just close up a little bit. He's not going to get DRS here though. Raggy with a wobble. He held it as he always seems to do. Well, most of the time seems to do. But lost a little bit of time. Neved is now just over a second. Now he's under the second. He's 0.8 behind. So Neved is right in the DRS zone. And he's going to have so much more grip around corners like that. And then off it. And then the final corner as well. You'll see a little bit more grip if you can get it to the final corner without losing the back end. So a little mistake in the corner. Actually lost Neved a bit of time. And lost him DRS. Paf has it, isn't using it. He's right on the edges. Mark has left the session. P3 has left the session. Not good news from him. And he's got a bit of time to get back in. Hobb picks up a 3-second penalty, 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. Mark's game has crashed, I believe, so he'll be trying to rush himself back in. He's got plenty of time currently to row. So he needs to get himself in as quickly as possible if he wants to get a chance of holding that podium. But Neved is right up now on the back of Raggy. He just needs to get these corners linked together. He didn't do last time. And it looks a little bit better now. He can use that DRS to close up right as the back of that Mercedes. Won't be making moves here because he knows he's got a much better chance coming up. Paf as well coming with Neved. 0.7 is the gap between Paf and Neved. So it's about a second to Raggy now between 6th and 8th. It's all going to come down to these corners. If one of these guys gets a beautiful drive that could... Raggy gets a much better drive off the corner. Neved has to lift in the middle of the corner. He's going to come under a little bit of pressure from Paf, but Paf again with DRS but not able to use it due to that DRS fault. So Neved made a mess of that final corner and lost the chance to get past Raggy this time around. We're on lap 22 of 33. And Raggy will be starting to approach that pit stop window in the next few laps. If you can make it to probably about lap 25, then the softs are right in there. And I think based on the fact that he hasn't stopped yet, It means he's got to be going for those softs. So that will be his aim. He's just got to get there first of all. But Neved is trying to catch up, trying to stay on the back end of that Mercedes. Pfaff as well in 8th, trying to hold on to the back of Neved. Neved trying to go around the outside there. Raggy looking for the cutback, but just nothing there for him. And Raggy will hold on to P6 for now, but Neved is all over the back of him. Neved just makes a few mistakes at these corners, and that's what's costing him his chance to get past Raggy. And last time he just had to lift off in the middle of the corner. He hasn't this time. He's got a good chance now. He's got the DRS open. Raggy goes to very defensive, and now back towards the racing line. Neved is just nowhere near close enough, and will not be coming past. This time round, Pfaff is also not coming through. As there's also a battle currently going on for the 11th and 12th between Hob and Overspeed. Just see if Neved makes a slide down the inside. He's not going to this time. Let's have a look at Overspeed and Hob. DRS going to be available? No, it's not. He just missed out. Let's go back up then. Beefs another penalties, and that's 9 seconds of penalties for Beefs. Currently in P5. And Neved is all over the back of this Mercedes. Neved wants to get past. Is he going to go for a risky move? He's not. But he will have DRS. Is Pfaff got it? Pfaff has got his DRS fixed as well. Mark has got back in, and great news for him. And now he just needs to get control of his car. He's still in 3rd place. He's not lost anything other than about 4 seconds to row, and so he'll be able to resume his 3rd place. As Neved is still there now. So crucial to get this exit, and then this final corner is that could potentially almost cost him a chance. Raggy going defensive. Good ERS management for Raggy so far. He's a lot ahead of Neved, and he's able to just dump it all down and know that he can't be taken. Shifting to mode 4. Pfaff is also there. Pfaff's got a lot of ERS, and could that be the threat to Raggy right now? As Mark, has he had a spin? He must have done. He's just dropped to row. He obviously took control of his car, and then probably got thrown straight off the track. Oh, it's unfortunate for Mark. He had a comfortable P3 as Raggy and Neved and Pfaff. Raggy's just lost 2 there. Not sure what happened. I think there might have been a little bit of contact between Neved and Raggy. But it's worked best for Pfaff, who came through, takes P6 as Raggy loses out big time, down 2 places. And Freudich has given up by those things, DNFing. Hopefully he didn't crash on purpose and not going to cause a safety car as a result. If there's a safety car though, that is going to be music to so many people's ears. And particularly these guys right now, if it suddenly comes up, then they're in the best position. And it doesn't look like there's going to be just yet. Raggy's staying out for another lap. Yellow in sector 1 now finally clear. So we are racing once again. And Neved is just not close enough to Pfaff. Raggy is close enough to Neved to get that DRS down the home straight. So we are still battling here for 6th, 7th and 8th. We'll have a quick look at Overspeed and Hob. Hob actually just got a terrible drive off that corner. Overspeed is going to have a chance. I don't think he will now actually. Tech Slave, 3-second penalty for him. Down there in 9th. And so Overspeed DRSing. No ERS available really for him, and he's going to be stuck in 12th for now. But we'll have a chance as we go through his lap. He's just all over the back of Hob. Marinado maybe up there in P2, gone fast to 21.527. And he will be trying to close up onto Brownie. Overspeed trying to get past Hob, sorry. And just not getting through there. Meanwhile, Raggy has fallen off the back of Neved. As both the Mercedes boys are trying to do things. Pfaff with a bit of a corner cut there. Gets away with it. Raggy is now coming into the pits. Will definitely be putting on the softs from here. He's going to come out around Leclerc. Should be a few seconds ahead of Leclerc, assuming this pit stop goes to plan. Softs going on that car. Where's Texlave? He's coming around the final corner now. Raggy has the longest drive from the pit box to the end, as Mercedes are right at that entering point. Texlave goes through. Where's Leclerc? He's coming down the pit lane now. Raggy is starting to accelerate, so he will be well ahead of Leclerc. And 2 seconds or so behind Texlave. Texlave does have a penalty. Leclerc's got a fair few as well. So he will be just trying to get up past Texlave. That's all you can really ask for at this point. Brownlee goes fastest with a 20.8. Leclerc, 3-second penalty for him. And I mean that could lose him points if he's not careful. Hobb and Overspeed battling for the 11th. Leclerc, I believe, has 6 seconds of penalties so far. As Hobb has closed right over to Leclerc. Leclerc must have had a big mistake then. And Hobb is 2.6 seconds off the back of him. So Hobb and Overspeed are effectively battling for the last of the points positions here, with Leclerc making those mistakes. We're on lap 27 of 33. Not long to go. Race leader is Brownie. He's got a 5-second lead over Maranello Baby. He's got a 15.5 from Rowe. So pretty much 1 and 2 are settled unless there's a big issue coming to back markers or things for these guys. Let's go on board with Overspeed as he's looking to do something. He's got ERS, he's got DRS. He's going to go round the outside of the McLaren. And he's through. And an easy overtake there for Overspeed. Now he's got to make it stick. Runs very wide. He's let Hobb back through, but it's still there. Hobb comes across and Overspeed has to lift off a little bit. He's going to send one down the inside. Thought about it. And it just gives Hobb a little nudge saying, oh, yeah, I nearly had you. But Hobb holds on for P11 for now. 2.8 seconds off the back of Leclerc. These guys, as Regu is trying to close up onto the back of Texlave. He was inside DRS a moment ago, but Texlave has just pulled himself out of that. He's got a lot of ERS saved, has Raggy. He's on 70-80% now. Texlave is in the mid-50s. And Leclerc well off the back of Raggy, so Raggy's only got to concentrate on the man in front of him. As has Neville, actually. He's 1.1 seconds off the back of Path. So he'll be looking to try and close up there. Raggy's still without DRS. He's done a 21.8, 21.99. Compare those to the fastest laps. Where am I going? I'll go for there. So his fastest lap is a second off Brownie's pace. Brownie on hard tyres. Raggy needs to step it up. As Hobb and Overspeed once again battling there for P11. Overspeed is through this time. Is he going to make it stick? He made a mess of it last time. And he looks like he's held it this time though. And Overspeed will be P11 and looking good to jump Leclerc when penalties are applied. Let's go back up to his teammate who's battling with Texlave. 0.9 is the gap now. He just... I thought he might lose the back end there, but he just took his foot off and corrected it. 1 second on the back of Texlave. He did have DRS down that straight, so he's closed up a little bit. But now he's got to get these softs to work against old hard tyres. He shouldn't be struggling, but he is. He's just gone very deep there into turn 14 and 15. Still right on the DRS limit, but didn't get it. It's just simply overdriving, unfortunately for him. His teammate is going to be trying to hold off Hobb. As Leclerc is in the pits, then P10 of Leclerc will not be finishing higher than P12, I don't think, unless someone else DNFs in the last few laps. Overspeed currently P10, last of the points positions. And Hobb is all over the back of him. 0.7 is the gap between these two. Raggy is still trying to close up onto TechSlave. He's got a lot of ERS to burn, has Raggy. TechSlave is still in the mid-50s, Raggy's in the mid-80s. And little wobbles like that is what's causing him to lose just DRS. And lag like that is not helping either. So again, just a wobble through turn 8 has cost him any chance he's got of this lap. He's now got to string these corners together there. It's going to help him though. TechSlave just made a big mistake on the hump of turn 11. Raggy's closed up now. 0.6 is the gap between these two. 0.8 now. Raggy just needs to get the drive off. He's got the grip. Just needs to put that grip down on the track. He's done well so far. DRS open, mode 4 for him. TechSlave is also in mode 4. Is the extra grip on Raggy going to help him? He's going to move to the inside. And he goes through as TechSlave is still battling with Raggy to try and come back at him. But Raggy just with more grip then on those soft tyres. He's going to hold him off for now. And Raggy's got P8. TechSlave looking to make moves. He's just not quite going to make a move this time around. And I don't think this battle's going to be over for probably the rest of the race. It's all going to come down to just little mistakes from either of the drivers. TechSlave making a big mistake that cost him the position at turn 11. And that's what cost him. He just hit that bump a bit too far to the left, which destabilised the car through turn 12. Allowed Raggy to close up and then DRS straight past him. And that was the last time around. It's a bit better this time from TechSlave. He's just able to hold it. And he's still within DRS of Raggy. 0.8 is the gap. 0.75 now. A little lockout from TechSlave. That could cost him. That has cost him DRS. That's going to be music to Raggy's ears. One small mistake. And we've got a yellow in sector 1 though. That's gone. Was that Neved having a little mistake? He's just lost a load of time. Raggy is about 20 seconds off the back of Neved. Gets to this point. Let's see. Neved, I think, has just lost 7 seconds. And yeah, there you go. So Raggy has just helped himself to a nice 6-second cut on Neved. Has Neved got any damage on that car? He has. Look at that. His front left end plate has gone. Now we've got this lap and one more left. I think that might be too much to ask for Raggy to close up. Leclerc goes fastest of everyone down there in 12th on those fresh softs. Now 12 seconds is the gap with a lap and a bit to go between Raggy and Neved. Raggy on softs in their prime. Neved on old hards with end plate damage. One mistake from Neved, like these types of things, could cost him dearly. Raggy will be hoping that Neved just makes one mistake here, there and everywhere. This last corner, great chance of making a little mistake. He had to lift off through it. Raggy 9.4, 8.8 now. As well, sorry, they've got this lap and another to go, sorry, because Brownie's so far ahead. So they're starting in 32 now. Raggy is 8.1 off the back of Neved, who's just made a mistake down at turn 1 and 2. A little bit of a corner cut, escapes any penalties. Raggy will close up a little bit through here. And does so, look at that, he's just gained a second. More than a second now. I think Raggy might have a good chance of getting this position. Neved is just making mistakes. Worn tyres, front wing damage is not helping him. Race leader of Brownie has started his final lap. He's got a 5.6 second lead. And I don't think this one is over. Raggy is probably just sitting in his cockpit, seeing the times come down between him and Neved and just going, I can have him. I'm going to have him. Neved just can't do anything about it. His tyres are worn. He's got front wing damage. There is Raggy. You can see him in the background. That's how close he is now. 2.6 seconds is the gap. Neved has to just drive so hard. But driving hard is going to make mistakes. Neved could lose out on 7th place. He could even lose out on 8th place. TechSlave is close to Raggy. They're coming around the final few corners for the second to last time as they're going to start the final lap. Neved has to lift off as they go through the final corner. Raggy is just going to walk past him. That's a bonus place there for Raggy. Where is TechSafe, he's still there in 9th. He's probably going to come past relatively soon. Reggie actually had DRS as well to help. And Neved, he's going to be feeling terrible. Beast with a 3-second penalty. Yellow in sector 3. And Neved is out of the way. TechSafe is through. Brownie has won the race through all this. And Neved is going to be feeling terrible. He's still not finished though. If he starts making mistakes, Overspeed will come through. And I don't think Hob won't come through. So Neved will be guaranteed points, irregardless of what happens. Rowe becoming home P3. Mark, unfortunately, he disconnected and doesn't get P3. He had a 10-second lead over Rowe, disconnected, came back with 6 seconds, and I think he lost control of the car as he took control as Beefs crossed the lines in a spectacular style. Baff's going to come across in P6. And he jumps Beefs though. Beefs has so many penalties. The Path is up to P5. Raggy is going to be bringing it home P7. TechSafe is still there, so assuming Raggy doesn't mess up the last few corners, it's looking good from Raggy. Final corner then. He's only 1.1 seconds ahead of TechSafe, but I don't think Raggy had penalties and TechSafe had plenty. So TechSafe P8, Neved P9, and Overspeed will come across last if the points, and P10. So, and there we go. And here is your podium with Brownie standing atop in the Williams. And he'll be happy with that win. Might not see it often in the real F1, but Williams standing atop of the podium with Red Bull and Ferrari alongside him. And we'll get a full rundown of those final positions for you any moment. Hopefully soon. Sometime soon. Yes, maybe, no. What's going on? Hello, Gabe. Would you like to show me the results? I think the answer to that is no. That's kind of annoying. So that's the end of the Spanish Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I would like to show you the full results, but that's going to have to do because it's not letting me. So yeah, join us next week. We'll be in the lovely Monaco. Same time, 7 o'clock here. Hopefully that race is going to be exciting as this one. This one's exciting to the very end. So yeah, join me then. Thanks for being here.